Taehyung steps out of his car, followed by his assistant Byung-gyo. Together they walk into a luxury building. So this is one of the best buildings in Seoul. The penthouse here is extremely luxurious. It will do. I'm only staying here for a month anyway, just until my mansion is finished. But I trust your decision in choosing this penthouse for me wasn't a bad one. Sir, it's exactly your style and you will be able to get the office quickly from here. Let's hope your idea turns out well. Byung-gyo nods and hands him the penthouse keys. Go to the office and cross-check all the deal papers, and yeah, when I call you, come straight here. Taehyung enters the elevator and presses a button for the 15th floor. Just then, two women stop the elevator doors from closing. Taehyung looks at them. One woman seems to be in her mid-40s, while other who is heavily pregnant. The woman in her mid-40s looking worried speaks. Are you sure you can go by yourself? She helps a pregnant woman to one step into the elevator but doesn't come in herself. Her face shows concern. One gently holds her mother's hand and reassures her. Yes, Mom, I'm fine. Taehyung is probably waiting for me near the elevator, right? Her mom nods. Okay, I will let you go on your own then, but I will call her brother Taehyung one more time just to make sure. She chuckles and one releases her hand. Taehyung standing quietly behind them. Listen to their conversation, but is soon distracted when his phone buzzes with a message. His father sent him some work details. One smiles softly at her mom. Alright, Mom, you can go now. I just have to go in the elevator, it's no big deal. There is nothing to worry about. Her mom, you are in your 9th month, One. Your water could be break anytime. One interrupts giggling. Mom, please, that's already running late. Finally, her mom gives a playful glare and leaves. One places her hand on her belly, glances behind her. She noticed a man standing in the elevator with her. He looked around her age. She only glanced at him for about 2 seconds. She moved to the opposite side of the elevator. The man was still engrossed in his phone, a slight frown on his model-like face. The elevator stopped on the 5th floor, but both of them looking towards the door. But no one entered. The door closed and the elevator continued upward. Taehyung, seemingly interested, went back to checking his phone. The elevator jerks hard, moving fast over the 12th floor. One grabbed a rail behind her with one hand and the other one in her stomach. Finally, Taehyung looks from his phone and puts it in his pocket. Instead of going up, the elevator suddenly starts dropping quickly. One lets out a low scream. Look at her. He watches as one struggles to stay balanced, and just another hard jolt hits the elevator. He quickly stepped forward and grabbed her shoulder. Before the falls, he couldn't let a pregnant woman lose her balance. Taehyung, stop panicking, it's not good for you. One opened her eyes. Taehyung is standing close but not too close, holding her arm. Her face is sweaty and her legs and hands are shaking. Her fear grows even when she feels a pain in her stomach. Are you okay? Don't be scared, you are not alone. He quickly glances at the elevator panel only to see the screen flickering before going completely black. The screen showing the floor numbers is now gone. He holds on with one hand and presses the emergency button. When I am in pain, Taehyung eye wide in shock. Panic rushes through him in a way he hasn't felt before. He stares and whines as he grips her stomach tightly. I have made the emergency call, don't worry, they are already working on fixing it. They will just a few minutes. One clenches her legs, clearly in pain and needed to sit. Taehyung notices and carefully helps her to sit down. He holding her arms to support her. Suddenly the lights cut off. Why, no, she cries out, her voice filled with fear. Taehyung quickly switches on his phone flashlight. Shining it on her face, he takes her trembling hands and rubs them gently to comfort her, then pull out his phone and hurriedly calls Byung-gyo. Taehyung, Byung-gyo, where are you right now? Get back to the building immediately and talk to the staff. Byung-gyo, okay sir, but where are you? And what's the crying sound? He also went crying in the background. Taehyung, I'm stuck with the elevator with a pregnant woman. Please come here fast and call ambulance too. He says, his voice urgent as he taps one face, slightly noticing her eyes is starting to close. Hey, don't close your eyes, look at me, everything going to be okay, alright? Taehyung put his phone away and cups her face gently with both hands. One breathlessly, I'm in pain, my water just broke. Her voice shudders and Taehyung is wide in shock. He goes glancing down nervously as he bites his lip, trying to process what's happening. Taehyung, what the hell? Why haven't they fixed this yet? He grabs his phone again, frustration clear in his voice as he shouts at Byung-gyo. So I have just arrived at the building and the workers are really repairing. Taehyung, oh my god, I knew something was wrong with that elevator. He stepped out of the other working elevator, rushing towards the one Van was supposed to take. His face is filled with panic as he approaches the scene. Taehyung, can you all hurry up? My assistant stuck inside the elevator. Manager, sir, the workers are doing their best. Please try to maintain calm. The manager tried to soothe him, but Taehyung's face tightened with worry. He can't realize not when his sister in danger. Taehyung, calm. She's speaking pregnant. He yells at the manager. His voice leaves with fear and anger. Taehyung, if anything happened to her or the baby, I swear I won't let it go. Where is the owner of this building? Manager, sir, isn't that your dad? Taehyung pauses, closing his eyes as he takes a deep breath, trying to calm himself, but the panic doesn't leave him. He paces back and forth, running his hand through his hair as he struggles to think clearly. Byung-gyo, bro, don't worry, nothing will happen to your sister or the baby, okay? Seeing Taehyung freaking out, Byung-gyo gently places his hand on his arm, trying to calm him down. Taehyung is nervous that Byung-gyo pulls him into a slight hug. Taehyung, who are you and how do you know even my sister? He pulls away, his face tense with suspicion. Byung-gyo, I'm Byung-gyo, you can call me Hyung. He smiled, but Taehyung frowns deeply. Hyung, what the hell? Are you saying my dad is cheating on my mom? He yells at his man, jumping in the worst conclusion. Byung-gyo, what? No, I'm just saying it because you look younger than me. Taehyung, how old are you? Byung-gyo, 21. Taehyung, I'm 19. So yeah, you are my Hyung. He sighs in frustration but calm down a bit. Taehyung, now tell me how you know my sister. Byung-gyo, my boss is also stuck in the elevator with her. Don't worry, he's a good man. He won't let anything happen to her. Taehyung economizes. His anxiety spikes again as he paces, still panicked. Inside the elevator, man, please don't close your eyes. You are so brave. When your baby arrives, you are going to be so proud of you. He is doing everything he can keep her awake. The memory of his own sister haunting him. She had passed out during labor and things went terribly wrong. Her baby didn't survive, and the thought of something similar happening now made his heart skip. While I'm trying my best, thank you, mister. She looked into his eyes, tears dried on her face. Taehyung bites his lip as he sees her struggling with the pain. His lips tremble, her restraint fading visibly. Taehyung, you. Suddenly the elevator starts working again. Taehyung quickly holds on to one sound to steady her, and within seconds the elevator reaches the ground floor. The door opens and the crowd, concerned people are gathering outside, likely drawn by Taehyung's shouting and commotion. Taehyung, Byung-gyo, did you call the ambulance? He asks urgently, his voice full with desperation. Byung-gyo nods and moments later hospital staff rushes in with a stretcher. They carefully lift man onto it. Taehyung, man, are you okay? Don't worry, we are taken to the hospital right now, okay, and I love you. One is still in pain, her face twisted with discomfort, but her hand instinctively holds onto Taehyung's. He gently carries her face, trying to offer her some comfort. Taehyung, rubbing her hand, a concerned lady nearby watches this. Lady, your wife is so strong. Son, don't worry, both your child and wife will be fine. She says to Taehyung, who is momentarily shocked by the assumption. When he hears this too but can't respond, her body overwhelmed by the intense pain. The ambulance staff carefully lift her onto the vehicle, and as they do, Taehyung hands slip from hers. Taehyung watches as Taehyung climbs onto the ambulance with Man leaving him behind for a brief moment. His heart races. Taehyung, I don't know, she's not my wife, but I have to go with her. He looks at Byung-gyo. Meet me at the hospital, I will call you later. Without waiting for a reply, Taehyung jumps into the ambulance as well, determined to stay by one side. At the hospital, staff, sir, are you her husband? Taehyung, does that matter? Right now, you should be focusing on her right. First, he replies sharply, his eyes flashing with concern. Taehyung and my brother, his staff, and quickly shares their family details with the staff. The delivery begins and Taehyung, Byung-gyo and Chesley outside the room. Taehyung body tense as he hears one scream echo through the hall. His heart feels heavy with every cry she makes. Taehyung on the phone. Okay, mom, please hurry. He calls her parents, his voice tight with urgency. Meanwhile, Taehyung stares through the glass window, watching Wan in pain, his heart tightening at his side. Taehyung, did you call your parents? Taejung, yeah, they should be on their way by now. He glanced at Van and adds it's early. Taejung, by the way, thanks for taking care of my sister. Taehyung gives a small smile though his eyes never leave Van. Taejung, what's your name? Taehyung, Kim Taehyung. Taejung found slightly the name sounding vaguely familiar. Taejung, do you know my dad, Park Jae? Taehyung nods slowly as the name rings a bell. Taehyung, is your father? Taejung, yeah, and I think you're the guest my dad talking about last night. The famous young CEO of Kim Company, right? Taehyung nods, but his attention quickly shifts back to Van. As her screams intensify, his jaw clenches, unable to shake the overwhelming concern he feels. Your sister is really strong, he casts toward the operation room, his expression serious and I chuckle slightly. I know, right? 8 months ago she caught her cheater husband cheating on her. She divorced him immediately after. Taehyung is wide in shock, unable to hide his surprise. Taehyung, that's unbelievable, and now she is single mom. I really have to admire her for that. He glanced back towards the operation room, watching Van through the glass, tears streaming down her face as the doctor continued working. She clutches the bed, turning her head back and forth in agony, crying uncontrollably. Taejung, Van, you can't do it, he shouts, his voice filled with desperation. Catches Taehyung's attention, Taehyung feels the tension and urgency, leans forward and whispers, Taehyung, yeah, Van, you can do this, please prove me right. His whisper turned into a shout, echoing Taejung's word full of hope and determination. Suddenly the room gets silent, and then the sound of a baby's first cry breaks through the tension. Taehyung and Taejung freeze, overwhelmed by goosebumps. They watch as the doctor holds up the newborn, then exchange glances with emotion. Without saying a word, they embrace each other in a tight, victorious circle. If they just won a war or the World Cup. Taejung, she did it. She really did it. His voice trembles with excitement. Taehyung, yeah, she did it. They break their hug as the doctor walks out of the room, smiling. Doctor, congratulations everyone. She has become a mother and it's a boy. Taehyung and Taejung exchange wide smile, their heart full of relief and happiness. Taehyung, can we go inside and see her? Doctor, of course you can. Taejung rushes inside the room immediately. Taehyung, thank you, doctor. Taehyung enters the room and his eyes instantly find Wine. She is smiling gently, holding the newborn in her arm. The nurse and Taejung stand beside her, gazing at the baby with adoration. Taehyung, Wine look up at him, her eyes widening slightly in surprise at seeing him there. Her lips curl into a soft smile, a sight that melts Taehyung's heart. He feels heartbeat quicken, and without thinking, he moved closer to her. They locked eyes, a silent exchange of emotion passing between them, while Taejung gently stroked the baby's hair as its rest on Wine's arm. Taejung, oh my god, I can't believe he's so small and cute. I need to call mom and dad again. They still haven't arrived yet. Excited, he rushes out of the room, leaving Taehyung standing there looking at the baby. A wave of joy fills him as he glances down at the newborn. Nurse, Van, you need to rest now. You can hand the baby to your husband. Van stays quiet, nodding slightly as he looks at Taehyung. He steps forward with a gentle smile, extending his arm to hold the baby. Van carefully places the baby onto his arm. The nurse helps Van lay down, but her eyes never leave Taehyung, who is now smiling madly at the baby in his arms. Nurse, Mr. Kim, your son is incredibly cute and healthy, especially after such a difficult delivery. Taehyung thanks to his mother because she's incredibly strong. One heart races at Taehyung's but her emotions string. Taehyung presses a tender kiss on the baby's hand. The way he holds the child makes it seem as if the baby belongs to him. The nurse smiles warmly at the scene before adjusting some equipment and quietly leaving the room. Van, I'm really happy to see you again, Mr. Van said with a weak voice. Taehyung gently looked at her hand and giving it a soft request. Taehyung is Taehyung, you can call me by my name instead of Mr. Van. Okay, Mr. She smiled faintly as Taehyung chuckled. Taehyung, yeah, your brother said your mom had already boarded the flight. When he called, don't worry, she will be here soon. And your dad, Mr. Park, Tofa nodded, feeling reassured. Thank you, by the way, Taehyung. Even though we were strangers, we have helped me so much. You stayed by my side. She smiled weakly, gratitude even in her eyes. Taehyung, smiling softly, if you want, I could stay by your side for the rest of your life and not just as a stranger. He confessed, the words carrying a deeper meaning when her heart skipped a bit at his word, her gaze locking with his. Taehyung, we have only just met today. Her voice trembled, slightly unsure what his was going. Taehyung, leaning in just a little, his gaze soft but intense. I know, but sometimes one moment is enough to feel something real. Haven't you felt it too? His voice low, almost a whisper, sending a shiver down her spine. When her breath caught in her throat and she looked away briefly, her heart racing. I don't know. Taehyung is smiling softly, his finger gently brushing against her hands. Again, it's okay if you don't know yet, but I can't ignore what I feel. You are stronger than you think when I admire that. Maybe that's why it feels like we have known each other much longer than just today. When her heart fluttered at his word, her cheeks warming up. You are different. Taehyung chuckled softly, different in a good way, I hope. When smiling shyly and blushed, maybe. Days turned into weeks. Taehyung started coming to the hospital every day, always with some excuses. He would hold her baby, admire him, kiss him, and do everything like it was his own child. He also took care of Wan, his mother, who stayed her by side every night and day, noticed sin and was touched by Taehyung's behavior. Wan's father, who was Taehyung's business partner and old friend of his father, had invited Taehyung to their home. One parents even asked Taehyung if his visits to the hospital were difficult because of his busy schedule. They said he could escape if needed, but Taehyung instead that he wanted to visit and take care of Wan every day. This surprised her parents a little once Taehyung ran out of an important meeting just because he got a message from Taehyung saying that Wan was in pain and wasn't feeling well. He stayed by her side that night entire. Finally, today was Wan discharge day. Taehyung stood there holding the baby while Taehyung carried the luggage and Mrs. Park helped Wan. Mom, I'm fine now. Please, you should go to the Busan. Grandma needs you. Mrs. Park was supposed to fly to Busan that day. Yes, Mrs. Park, you should go. I will be here to take care of Wan. Everyone looked at him and Wan raised an eyebrow. Mom, I'm perfectly fine now. See, she swings her arms playfully to show her strength. Taehyung smiled at her. Every small action and word from her made his day brighter. Mrs. Park, okay, but please let Ajuma, Yuna and Daijung help you at home. And also Taehyung, he loves taking care of you and the baby more than anything, so let him help too. When smile softly. Yes, mom, now you can go without worry. Taehyung, he is hungry. One nodded and Taehyung helped her adjust her baby in her arm. He stood there admiring both of them while Wan tried to hide her blush as she looked at him. Can you please call Yuna to help me open the hook? My hand can't reach there. That's why I liked the hospital gown better. It was easier to open. Her face turned slightly red as she explained, but Taehyung's lips curved into a small pout. Taehyung, she just went to the market to get some things. There is no one else at home right now. I let out a small laugh, unsure what to say. The baby began to crying again as soon as Taehyung moved away, clearly missing being in his arms. Taehyung, well, I will go. I mean, try to manage on your own. I will wait outside her room. He stammered awkwardly, backing away. Wait, Taehyung, help me, don't run away like this. Wan smiled, enjoying watching him blush. His cheeks were turning strawberry red, just as she hoped, and she knew he was trying to hide it. Taehyung, you really want me to help you? Wan nodded, pressing her lips together, herself from laughing at his pink braid cheeks. Wan, come on, Taehyung, this isn't the time to be shy. She finally let out a small laugh. Taehyung smiled nervously and leaned in closer to open her dress hook. Wan breathed hissed as she felt him so close. His finger carefully worked to avoid touching her skin, but the warmth of his breath brushed against her face, making her cheeks turn even pinker. After a moment, Taehyung managed to undo the hook, but he didn't move back right away. Instead, he stayed slightly leaned over her, and without warning, he pressed his soft lips gently against her forehead. When heart began to race, he then kissed the baby's head. Wan, you know this kiss feel familiar, she said softly, remembering the times in the hospital when Taehyung would kiss her forehead as she pretended to sleep. I'm glad you recognize it, he chuckled, knowing now that she was never truly asleep when he kissed her goodnight in the hospital. So baby began to drink more wine, felt completely as with Taehyung being there. Like she always did, she never felt uncomfortable by his presence, but Taehyung, respecting her space, was about to leave the room. Just as he was turning to go, Wan suddenly reached out, grabbing his hand. Her touch was soft, but stopped him in his track. Her voice was gentle but firm as she said, Wan, stay here, Taehyung. I love your presence. Taehyung turned towards her, his wide smile lightened up the room. He sat down beside her, leaning closer this time, his gaze locked with hers. both of their eyes filled with unspoken feeling. Taehyung, may I? Why nodded, her heart racing. Taehyung didn't hesitate as he gently pressed his lips to hers, sending a rush of butterflies through her stomach. The kiss was slow, tender, and filled with a deep passion. One responded, her lips moving against his hand gently catched her face, making the moment even more intimate. Between kisses, Taehyung whispered, "Can you make this a stranger your place?" He asked softly, his breath warm against her lips when he smiled through the kiss. "One, you are not a stranger anymore." Taehyung smiled against her, and with those words he depended her, pouring more love and affection into it, making every moment between them feel magical. Suddenly the sound of something falling broke the moment. They pulled away, startled, and turned to look at the door. Taehyung was standing there, school bag slung over his shoulder, a box of chocolate that had fallen from his hand lying on the floor. "Taehyung, you guys might want to lock the door next time." He scratched his head awkwardly. "Sorry to interrupt, I will just leave now, enjoy, don't mind me." He quickly closed the door behind him. One was blushing, man's her face red with embarrassment. Taehyung, on the other hand, chuckled softly, amazed by this situation. He leaned down and gently catched the baby's head, who was still peacefully drinking, completely unaware of the chaos around him. Well, that was unexpected. Vine covered her face with her hand, still blushing from Taehyung's unexpected entrance. She peeked through her finger at Taehyung, who was grinning wildly, clearly enjoying the reaction. "I can't believe that just happened." Taehyung laughed softly, his eyes twinkling. "Well, at least he knows how to make an exit." He teased, adjusting between her arms. "You okay?" Vine lowered her hands, still frustrated but smiling. "I'm fine, just embrace." "You look cute when you embrace," he said, his voice soft and leaned, brushing a stain away from her face. "And don't worry about it, it's not like we are doing anything wrong." Vine playfully nudged him, her blush fading but her heart still racing. Taehyung chuckled, leaning back with a smirk. "Next time, does that mean you are planning?" While laughed, her eyes twinkling mischievously. "Maybe if you are lucky." The baby shifted in her arm, and they both looked down at him. Taehyung gently ran his finger over the baby's soft hair, his expression on softening. "Look like he is already taking like to me." One warmly smiled at the sight of Taehyung doting on the baby. "I think he does." Taehyung looked up, his eyes meeting her. "So does this mean I'm officially part of this family now?" He asked playfully, though there was a hint of something deeper in his voice. He leaned in, his eyes filled with affection. "And I plan on staying that way," he whispered before gently pressing his lip on her forehead.